Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, I just want to introduce myself. My name's Claudia. I've kind of had this channel for quite a long time, but I don't upload very often. So I thought I would start trying to upload a little bit more, because there's a reason why, and I'll explain further on in the video. But so I don't know how long it's going to be, this video. I'm hoping I won't have a really long video, but who knows where it's going to go, because I haven't actually written any notes. I've written a few prompts and that's about it. So I would grab yourself a cup of tea or, you know, whatever you like to drink. If it's hot, you might want a cold drink, you know, whatever. So if you'll do that, and then shall begin. So I want to give you a bit of a life update. Obviously, I don't think I filmed a video last week, and the last video I probably filmed might have been a couple of years ago maybe. So not much has changed. A little bit has changed, but I won't say a huge amount has changed. With regards to my knees, for people who have been watching my videos for a long time, my knees haven't necessarily changed, but I've had an injury that has caused a slight change in my knee. So I had an ankle injury about a year, I'd say probably a year and a half, near enough, and I'm still recovering from this ankle injury. It's taking forever. It's the most frustrating thing ever, I can't tell you. So I think I kind of slipped and I've ended up tearing I think it's like a tendon that goes across my ankle from one side to the other, which I think is quite common. I don't really know. And then I've got something wrong with the tendon that goes from my toe to the back of my calf, and then some other ligament that I've damaged as well. So it's not all terrible. I can still walk just about, but I have to be careful with what I use shoes wise. I can't just wear any shoes, so I'm very restricted, because if I get a lot of pain then it's not great. So because of that, I also ended up injuring my knee at the same time, and I ended up getting something called a bursa, which I didn't know what it was at the time, but all I knew is that my whole knee was completely swollen like a balloon and I could not get rid of the swelling. So they did an MRI, which I've had MRIs for both now, my ankle and my knee. And it turns out that I've got something called a bursa, which there's nothing they can really do about it. So the swelling has actually gone down, and yeah, I just have to be careful. I can't kneel on it anymore because it hurts. So this is the reason why I wanted to do the video, was because obviously with these injuries, I can't control, you know, necessarily the whole full recovery, because it's going to take as long as it's going to take. But there are some things that I can control, you know, for instance, like my food, like I showed you, the shopping haul that I did. But also I found a supplement that I was going to try, something called Joint Complex. I'll show it to you. I've not tried it yet. It might be disgusting, so I don't know. I'll give it a go. But so it's this. I bought it from Boots. I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but I've kind of been putting it off because, I don't know, I never like taking supplements like this, because I kind of hope that my body should be good enough to be able to help myself. But I think at this point I probably need a little bit of extra help. I am going to be having steroid guided injections in my ankle, which I am actually still waiting for, but I wanted to give this a go beforehand and see if it made any difference, especially to my knees. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference to my ankle because it's tendons, and I don't know if it will really help. But to my knees, now I'm kind of walking kind of a little bit differently. I can feel different pains in my knees, or worse pain than I could before, even though I've had an injection recently. So I want to give this a go, because there was another lady who I follow who tried marine collagen, and she said that it was really amazing. She was taking it in a different form. It was kind of like a gel and it didn't have other things. And I thought I would try something that was specifically for joints. And the consultant said, why not give it a go? You know, she said she didn't think it would help, but she said, who knows, you know, give it a go. So here I am with my joint complex and I'm going to give it a go. And the whole reason why I thought I would do some videos is because I'd like to kind of take you all on the journey with me with it. Just because I haven't seen that many videos. When I was doing a little bit of research, I didn't see anyone doing any videos like this about what they thought of it or how it helped. So I thought I might just give it a go. The reviews were good. People said they wished they'd taken it before they had joint problems. But a lot of people actually did say it did help them. So we'll see. I don't know if I would do a weekly video on this. I'm not sure it will be a worthwhile thing. I'm going to see how it goes. It may be more of a monthly video because I don't know how quickly I'm going to really see any sort of difference. So I might come on to you next week and say, oh yeah, no difference whatsoever. You know, and it'll be like a 1-minute video, and that's going to be completely pointless unless I do it as a short and then maybe do a main update video later on. As you know, I have been still uploading a load of short videos. If any of you have been watching, I've continued doing that. I just haven't really filmed any sort of content. So that is kind of that side, the health side. They also told me to lose weight, which they always say, and it's hard work. I have lost a little bit, but it's not particularly good. But I'm telling you, no weight videos are coming back on this channel, as I've said many times before. So yeah, that's that. Right, so what else? There isn't a huge amount else really. So work has been really good, thank goodness. So I've basically been working from home since the injury. I had time off sick to try and see if that would help, and it didn't really, well, it made some difference but not a huge amount, and in the end they said to come back to work but work from home, so that's been amazing. So I've been able to do that, and I suppose because I've had a little bit more time, I've kind of ended up doing a lot more hobbies. I was doing some of them before, but now I've been able to put a little bit more time into the things that I enjoy doing, which has been really nice. So I've ended up joining like 3 book clubs. They're kind of, one of them in particular is an actual book club, and it's mainly all of this stuff is online, so it's all via Zoom meetings. So I've joined a book club which we read a chapter a month of a book, which I won't go too much into because it's probably something I would rather do in a separate video. And then obviously I belong to a manifestation group which also has a little bit of a book club in it too. And I've been trying to, with limited time, I do sometimes have limited time to try and read the book. There's a book once a month that we can all read that's kind of designed to coincide with the topic that we're doing per month. So I have been trying to do that, and I have been successful this last month. And the month before I was successful in reading the book, so I was quite pleased about that. And also, I'm also part of a Patreon thing. It's not one that I've got, it's someone else's, and she also has a book club, and it's a book that you can read every season. You kind of, all of us decide, and we do a poll, so I've joined that as well. So I've got a lot of book clubs in my life, which I do like because I find that books are really exciting to read, and they're just, you can learn so much, you know, especially if it's non-fiction. So a lot of the books that I do read, half of them I would say are probably non-fiction because of the 2 book clubs that I belong to, but the Patreon one is fiction, so it's nice and exciting. So that's that. So I now want to move on to, let me see what time we're on to, 10 minutes. So I want to move on to the meals. So as you remember, I've uploaded the food haul, and I kind of wanted to give you kind of an idea of just meals that I was having, just because that week we were in the middle of a heat wave. Now, I don't know if you all know, but I'm based in the UK, or in London, so some of you may be somewhere else in different parts of the world. So we were actually having a heat wave, which most of us probably complained about. And I just wanted to show you kind of some of the meals that I was having, because it was almost like I was having meals the week before, and it was starting to get very warm, and I didn't want the meals that I'd kind of planned. It was too hot for the meals. So I kind of changed the majority of my meals that week, and I really enjoyed them. So I just thought I would go through the meals with you if you're interested. So, and what I did with the food that I actually bought, because that's probably more interesting. So the first one, I'll try and put it here so you can see it. I don't know if I might have to move the camera a little bit because you might not get a good picture. There we go. You move it a little bit so you can actually fully see. So I'll be looking at, because obviously I've got the pictures in front of me, you'll have them there. So the first meal was just a normal meal that I usually have, which is pie. And this time, instead of having it with pie and mash, I had it with chips. And it was kind of a weird combination, but I really liked it. So I had it with pie, and then I had the chips, and then I had the vegetables with the gravy. So I quite enjoyed that. The next meal I was using up things that kind of needed to be used up. So there was garlic bread there, which wasn't obviously in the food haul that I showed you, but I was trying to get rid of it. So I had that with a salad, and I had some new potatoes, and I had a chicken, which I actually bought the chicken already cooked and just roasted it in I've got a microwave oven, so it kind of gives you less heat than a proper oven. So I did that, which I really enjoyed that meal. And then I had another salad, which I did kind of change the salad a little bit because I put olives in. So I quite enjoyed that, but I overdid the amount of potatoes because I was thinking, what am I going to do with these potatoes? And I didn't really think that I should just put them in the fridge and use them the next day. So I ended up having tofu, which I've never tried this before, but it was like the tempura one, and you put it in the oven, and it's kind of crispy on the edge, around the edges, which was really nice. So I put some chili sauce on it that I found in the cupboard. So I had that, and I had obviously salad cream over the top of the salad. So that was really nice. My next meal, I had another chicken breast left to eat. So I had that, which I also roasted. And then I thought, I didn't want to have the potatoes again, so I decided to have chips. And then I had, same again, salad with salad cream. And then there's another meal here which I actually had in the freezer, but I wanted something relatively quick. So I ended up having rice with chili con carne, which is actually something that my dad had made, and it's got red kidney beans in and tin tomatoes. The red kidney beans, we used the chili ones, but we had extra chili on top with the spice, so it kind of adds a little bit more depth, which is really good. So I had that and avocado. I ended up having a whole avocado because I think I ended up buying 2 of them, so really I probably only needed half, but sometimes the next day the avocado doesn't look quite so good. But if I'd had it in the morning with my egg, I don't think I'd had eggs that day actually, because I think it was so hot I ended up with cereal. But if I'd had it in the morning and then had the other half in the evening, it would have been absolutely fine. So then another day, I think this was a couple of days just gone, I didn't have that much food left because I'd eaten most of it. So I kind of really fancied like some form of wrap, but all I had in the freezer was wholemeal chapatis. So I thought I'll just use those. And actually they were actually quite okay. So I fried those up, dry fried them both sides. And then I did in the oven again, I did the tofu, which I don't know if you should be able to see it. And then I added what was left over of the salad. And that was just cucumber and tomato. I didn't have anything else because I'd had the whole lot. So I'd had that, and then I put some more of the chili sauce, some more of the salad cream over the top, and I had the leftover new potatoes, which I actually put into the oven to kind of cook them a little bit more. So I had them in the fridge and I just put them in the oven. So yeah, that was really good. So I really enjoyed that. So that was all my meals. So you can have if you haven't seen the food haul, go back and watch it so you can see where I've used all the ingredients and what I've used them all for. So I thought that would be quite an interesting video. I may do more of those, I don't know. I mean, obviously my dad cooks a lot of the meals as well, so, but then some of them I could probably still include them. Just, they're kind of a bit different. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you all very soon. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this type of content, if you like and subscribe and leave a comment as well. I tend to try and answer every comment unless I kind of miss it, but I don't think I've ever missed any comments. So I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how you're all doing and I hope to all see you soon. Bye everyone. Thank you.